Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well today. Today I wanted to review markings on the receiver and barrel of my SMlE No. 1 Mark III rifle. Generally, regarding all rifles of the era, there is a huge quantity of inspection marks and other markings all along the upside and the underside of the barrel and receiver area, as well as other parts potentially. Today I'm just going to go over my SMlE and outline some of the most important markings. On the left side, we have the broad arrow on the bottom, a British War Department acceptance marking you find on nearly all British military equipment. Above that is a 17 marking, confirming that the barrel was manufactured in 1917, as was the receiver. The other markings are various inspection markings that I do not know the specific meaning of. Please note that GR marking specifically likely denote Georgius Rex, referring to King George V. He was the king of the British Empire from 1910 to 1936. Looking at the middle of the barrel top, we see a single symbol of two broad arrows pointed at each other. This is generally the sold out of service marking for the British to indicate it left military service. Sometimes the markings look different and sometimes it's not present at all. I imagine this would especially be the case for later SMlE rifles, as they're trying to probably get rid of hundreds of thousands of rifles as soon as possible. Finally, we arrive on the right side. The barrel and the receiver serial are present and they are matching, indicating that this was the original paired receiver and barrel from the factory, most likely. Heavily worn rifles often had the barrel swapped out and refused, though this was not always the case. In addition, my nose cap and my rear sights are also matching. The only piece not matching is the bolt itself, which works smoothly. Finally, we have some more inspection marks. Now for some speculation. Sometimes you get SMLEs with later reissue dates, especially in the 1940s. This rifle only has 1917 markings, so I imagine it may have been sold out of service before World War II. In addition, the rifling itself is worn, so it's likely slated for retirement rather than getting a replaced barrel. The rifle was made at Enfield, and the importer markings are from Century Arms, stating it came from the UK. This type of rifle is widely exported throughout the entire world wherever British influence occurred. However, I imagine based on these markings, it did stay in Britain. Century Arms did import SMlE rifles from other countries like South Africa, Ireland, and probably many other nations, as SMlE rifles were imported to the USA in great numbers. The SMlE rifle has interesting markings on its receiver and barrel to tell a story, or at least suggest its personal history. Other rifles will have markings and inspection markings that are usually completely lost to time in their meaning. At least here, the standard British markings, which have been around for a while, are represented clearly.